Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Faye, how are you doing today?
Not bad. Plodding on.
Cheerio. That's the only English I know. If this is your first time watching, this is sort of an impromptu live stream. We are Defend, a nonprofit looking to reduce risks for children and vulnerable people online. And today we're going to be doing a review on another YouTuber's video. If you don't know already, we have a program called Map to Hope, and it is for people that are NoMAPs. And what are NoMAPs, Faye?
Non-offending, minor-attracted people. So people who are attracted to children but have not offended in person or online and are seeking support, help, assistance like any other innocent person would with something that they're having a struggle with. And not a struggle in general with, I'm going to go and offend, a struggle with, I'm struggling to live with this. I'm finding this really difficult to navigate. I'm finding it really hard to accommodate and feel okay about myself. So there's a lot of, depression and all sorts that can come along with this disorder.
Yeah. So just to clarify, our program is for 18-year-olds and older, and you may have offended in the past. What you need to be doing currently, though, is you need to be committing to a no-maps lifestyle. And if you're committed to that, then you can join our anonymous support groups. Get on our website to sign up. HelpUsDefend.com. There's our social link, and you can just search that in Google and even search that and Map to Hope, and you'll get it. So today, Faye, we're going to be, I haven't shown you anything. This is going to be another surprise sort of impromptu review of a YouTuber that has some very strong opinions about maps, and it will become very apparent once we get into it. But I'll let it play and just kind of pause it throughout and sort of check in on what you're thinking about. Shoot, I don't even, for whatever reason, I don't have her name. I want to appropriately.
I don't recognize her. I don't think I've seen any of her YouTube.
Yeah, she.
She'll probably introduce herself at the beginning of the vlog, not vlog.
I'm not sure she does. Um, ready, ready to glare.
Ready to glare,
Yeah,
right?
that is her
Handle.
YouTube handle. Let me see if her actual name. She doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't have her name. Her brand is Ready to Glare.
Okay.
So let's take a look at this video. It's called Another Map on Instagram.
All those moments lost in time.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about another map or minor attracted person, or as we in reality refer to them as pedophiles. Now if I use the term map, it's mostly to avoid demonetization, which would then hide my video, and then there's no point of making a video if none of the people who are subscribed see it, But anyway, so a couple of days ago, I was made aware of a profile on Instagram that's called Rar Face Mish. Now, on the profile, it did say Mish, so I don't know if that's their real name, a nickname, a pseudonym, whatever. I'm gonna refer to them as Mish. And they had a post up that was talking about being proud of being a MAP, a pedophile. So this was the post that brought a lot of attention. It said, "I'm proud of my attraction. Hashtag MAP positivity, NoMAP pride, MAP pride, pedosexual." And if you'll see, it doesn't have 1,000 likes, but it does have almost 1,000 comments, and all of those were essentially dragging this person, and rightfully so. So then I went on their story where they were doing like a Q&A. So it says, "MAP pride, my age of attraction is 2-year-old to 12-year-old, ask me anything." So under there's also a curious cat profile. I looked it up and it's gone. So I don't know if they just removed everything or if they were removed by these various platforms after being reported to hell. So anyway, let's go through these. And the reason I'm going through these is because, first of all, I'm going to show you a picture of this person. So if you're under 18 and ever come across them, block, report. And if you're over 18, probably do the same thing, block and report, but you're obviously less at risk. Also because this person's age of attraction for children is between 2 years old and 12 years old, which in and of itself, repulsive. So a lot of these questions, or a lot of the answers to the questions this person gave were extremely taunting. For example, someone said, "Are you aware that you're disgusting? You're a proud pedo." And they responded, "I'm proud of it, silly butt." Then it said, "As a female who was born female and preyed on MAPs, you scare me." And she said, "My age of attraction is 2 to 12, so if you're older than that, you shouldn't fear anything, to be honest." And a lot of the times this person seemed to actually miss the point. Now, mind you, I don't believe that any person's comment can automatically change someone's mind, and I don't think Mish would one day wake up and being like, "Wow, being a pedophile is fucking disgusting and I need to seek treatment." I know nothing of that was gonna happen, but I honestly almost wonder why this person did a Q&A if it's only for ego boost, to have like all these people asking you questions and giving you attention, even if it's negative, or what they were trying to do. Maybe they were trying to find other MAPs. Who the fuck?
So Faye, what are your initial impressions here?
Well, the answers that the map was giving, the NoMAP was giving, were sort of were being sort of escalatory, or being, something. They were trying to engage in a way that they knew would sort of, I don't know, something, create a reaction or a negative response. So their answers were a little bit affronting, but we don't know their reason for being there. And actually, if they are a NoMAP, that is something to be proud of, to know principally and be dedicated to never offending despite having a sexual attraction to children, is a real thing. And I would always be proud and happy and glad that anyone sort of put that effort into life and lived well with paedophilia or paedophilic disorder, or got sought help if they weren't living with it well. So this person might be there trying to find community or some kind of support system, but it sounds a little bit like they're maybe also being a bit antagonistic and wanting a bit of interaction, whether it's negative or positive. And that might well be to bring them into the discussion, to get some sort of people responding so that they can actually educate and, signpost and do something good with their platform. Or it could be that they just need to express themselves because they're a human being and they're living well with it if they're a NoMAP. And, they need to express that in some way, somewhere.
Actually, I don't know that we know that they're a NoMAP. I don't know if that's what that profile said, but what do you
they said they were a proud NoMAP.
Oh, okay. I missed, maybe I missed that. What do you make? Oh, so there is a tag here, NoMAPs, on this post here. Um, just to be clear for everybody, oops. So yeah, I mean, it does, I don't think the general public really knows what the term NoMAP means.
Mm.
I think most people will know what maps mean, perhaps, especially from, people like this, Glare to, shush, Glare to,
Yeah, to glare.
Dare to Glare, Dare to Glare. She's making a video like this. She's kind of bringing attention to the word maps. And what do you make though of this person here putting the AOA 2 to 12?
Yeah.
That in itself is probably very scary for most people to kind of understand or think about. And generally speaking, that knowing that, even if it's not something that this person acts on, that this is something that is just damn scary. It will scare the hell out of anybody that kind of.
They have a disgust reflex, which is understandable. I can't imagine someone wanting to have sex with a baby. That's unimaginable to absolutely most people. So for someone to sort of put it up and platform it and then put a proud around it, and on the page they haven't put proud NoMAP, but they might, they haven't got a lot there, so they can't have run out of characters. So that what they've chosen to put there. I mean, when I worked in the NoMAP community a few years ago, there was a lot of work done on saying that the age of interest attraction should be removed from their Twitter bios, and it's disrespectful to put it up. And if we want to get anywhere, then we need to hold those things that are particularly jarring private, and so that we can actually get on with the real discussions of prevention, empathy, and support. But to actually I've not actually seen the NoMAP community or MAP community on Instagram, so maybe I'll have a little look. But yeah, putting the age of interest is very it's what's the word? It's problematic because it entices people to feel a natural disgust reflex, because gosh, that's young, and you can't imagine any children, but babies, goodness,
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Or why this person did a Q&A, if it's only for ego boost, to have like all these people asking you questions and giving you attention, even if it's negative, or what they were trying to do. Maybe they were trying to find other maps. Who the fuck knows? And I just want to add a quick point that if they are looking for other maps and if they are looking to build a community, I find that in and of itself concerning, because she seems to be very okay with touching children, abusing children, and so on. So it wouldn't even be a map community of people supporting each other and going to treatment and doing whatever they can to not be threats. It would be
Yeah, I don't understand where she's getting that from, because she definitely didn't say any of that or even imply any of that. And I think when she was being flippant about you're not at any risk, I don't think she was really meaning to say I'm a risk to 2 to 12-year-olds. I think she was trying to be flippant with the fact that you don't have to worry because you're too old. And that can be a joke that NoMAPs make, that they find funny. It's, understandable when you're living with something to try and find the humor in it, when you have to live with something really difficult. So, and you don't have a lot of community around that or support, and in fact, a lot of hate around it, sort of really bringing you down. So finding that support in the community is even more important for this Uh,
Absolutely. And that's really what our support group is about.
Mhm.
And that's something, if you're a NoMAP out there, that you should be thinking about, is finding a supportive community. I disagree with this woman. She's, I think, very wrong here, that finding like that a person, no matter what is going on inside their brain, everybody deserves and needs community.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you're just kind of in that boat of, we need to put these people 6 feet under, and that gets rid of this problem,
Mhm.
and it doesn't.
And also, there's a lot of assumption and conflation and all sorts of things going on that people lap up and eat up as if that's the reality, when actually it is usually further from the truth. Couldn't be further from the truth. So all the things that they link together just fluidly aren't usually the case. There's a lot of grey area, and a lot of people that actually need a lot of support.
Probably the most amount of support, because these people that know that they are a map,
Yeah.
and
they're finding out as like 11, 12, 13-year-olds, and they can't even talk to their mum, and they're living with this. You know, as they get older and older, with more and more puberty and urge and sexuality coming forward, and having to sort of blend in as well, because how do you blend in, especially if you're not attracted to adults? And maybe you can blend in by being ace, or not wanting sex or whatever, but that's a real difficult thing to come to terms with in an echo chamber, with absolute hatred surrounding it. There's no way to come outside of that safely for these children, adolescents, and young adults, and as they grow older, people. Actually, the work. If people need to get beyond being able to hate things and find them disgusting, and all right, yes, we all agree it's really hard to digest when you don't have that attraction. But if you hate it so much, you should want there to be support and prevention, empathy, and actually a bit of understanding for those who have to either be born this way or developed this way. And actually, I want to sort of speak a little bit about the types of people that can end up with a confused or a paraphilia because of trauma, especially if it's infantile or very young, early childhood, with incest, especially if it's child-on-child groomed sexual activity abuse. When those children become adults, they can have all sorts of conditions, paedophilic obsessive compulsive disorder, autopinephilia, or minor attraction, because of the rewiring of their brain and how trauma has affected them. And that they have nowhere to go with that, because it's too shut down, and it's under the carpet, and you best believe you're going to get reported if you go and ask for help, saying you've never done anything, but I have these thoughts, or this happens when I have sex, or I have dreams about it, or whatever. And they're having to live in isolation and a vacuum, because even none of these things get talked about, and all of these people are innocent, let alone recipients.
And I just want to kind of clarify that I don't know that I believe that pedophilia or someone dealing with minor attraction, I don't know that it's been proven that ultimately stems from trauma. I think we know from some research that it comes from in utero.
Yeah.
And but generally speaking, if someone feels desperate and alone and is without community and is without support, that this kind of builds the most ideal circumstances for offending.
Mm.
And that's really where we come at with our support group, Map to Hope, is that we want to build community. We want to build hope for people. We want people to kind of understand that they're not alone. And this is really a support group, not for people to talk about being a map, but it's really for them to talk about their everyday kind of shit, their everyday circumstances in life, because they obviously are so shunned in society that they don't have these kinds of things if they want to feel that kind of community. Anyways, let's keep going here.
Either a community who might be sharing child pornography, who might be sharing profiles to lurk and try to, I don't know, get in contact with. So that's what scares me about the fact that she was so openly posting, because it would probably attract others that would be like, oh, hey, I'm the same. And that just seems disastrous to me. So then it says, are you ever gonna have kids? If so, are you gonna do this to them? I plan on it. If my kids are girls, then absolutely. Part of me really wanted to think this was a troll, and the fact is, it almost doesn't matter if they're a troll, because what they're doing is inherently hurtful, because they still are pushing the narrative that MAPs should be part of the LGBTQ community, that being a pedophile or a pedosexual, as a lot of these people refer to themselves, is okay and on the same level as being gay, bi, trans, whatever part of the LGBTQ community you want to pick, and it's just not. It is under no circumstance part of the LGBT community. As the B in the LGBT, I'm telling you, get the fuck out. We don't want you here. We really don't.
It very much is part of the LGBTQIA. P's already taken by pansexual, but this develops in utero, so these people are born this way. And there's a lot of people navigating it because of other protected circumstances. But this, yes, this was very. I don't know whether this is a troll platform profile, because to write something like that, and the NoMAP community strongly believe that children cannot consent, and no way ever would they cross that boundary for any reason, especially them being attracted to them. So to have some kind of plan and think it's okay, that's not NoMAP community. No NoMAP, real NoMAP would speak like this.
Right.
So,
and I believe that we have really no way of figuring this out. But if somebody was a troll, then this is the perfect way to do that. Suggesting that you're going to commit some kind of criminal offense sometime in the future. I mean, if you're going to have kids, are you going to do this to them? I mean, the suggestion here is that harm, or the implication here is that harm is what would be done to some fictitious children in the future. And it really kind of feels like, yes, this kind of goes against what we kind of know about the NoMAP community.
Yes, it shows an intent, and it's quite it's inciting a negative response, because the intent is so heinous, so it's so blatant that you have to question the motives, to be so intentful like this. But, and that's not the NoMAP community, so they shouldn't be using the NoMAP hashtag, because this is not.
I just want to go back, though, to the beginning of the video. She has, I think, over 1 million people ready to glare.
Yeah.
Her subscriber, she's got 650,000 subscribers on YouTube, and she prompted this. She prefaced this video by saying, I'm probably going to use maps to not get demonetized.
Yeah.
And for all we know, Ready to Glare could be this Instagram account. And she's
Right.
using this as an opportunity to drive views, to drive revenue. You know, we have no way of knowing this.
Yeah.
And that's what's really scary here is, you know, not knowing what's truth or not. Because if somebody's not on a live stream like this, you know, they're not putting their face behind their actual face behind their thoughts and opinions, then that is troubling. Because again, we're just getting into misinformation territory.
Yeah.
Whatever part of the LGBTQ community you want to pick, and it's just not. It is under no circumstance part of the LGBT community. As the B in the LGBT, I'm telling you, get the fuck out. We don't want you here. We really don't. I'd prefer prison. That can be your community, the prison community. And here we come to the typical argument we see from
obviously she's, you know, editing her videos to have some kind of entertainment value here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's trying to add comedy.
Yeah.
That this is the flag of quote unquote pedosexuals. So, you know, this kind of reinforces my suspicion that maybe something could be amiss here.
And here we come to the typical argument we see from pedophiles over and over again, which has been debunked over and over again. Not that you really need crazy amounts of science to debunk it, but it said, why are you pro-contact? And they responded, because I believe children can consent, and I'm honest. Children can't consent. I love that in 2020 I have to say that children cannot consent. But I don't know what kind of idiot, moron, fuck this person. I don't know how this person who is interested in 2-year-olds, and in one of their stories even said the younger the better, it's deluded to think that they can consent. And I honestly think that they don't think that children can consent, more like they trick themselves into thinking that, because that in some way makes it, what, less perverse, I suppose, that you pretend that children can consent. Granted, some people might actually genuinely believe it, but aside from that, there was also another story, which of course I didn't have time to get the screenshot because there were like 1 billion stories, where she likened consent to children picking an ice cream flavor. She said, oh yeah, children can pick vanilla or chocolate, therefore they can choose to consent. That analogy does not compute. So this is a part that particularly pissed me off because you'll see. It says, how do you feel about the backlash coming out as a map? And the person said, it's expected. I faced worse as a trans woman, to each their own. I wasn't sure if they're saying that they're facing worse because they're trans and a pedophile, or if they faced worse adversities just on them being trans. Now, if it's just on them being trans, I don't know. I'm not trans, but it's hard for me to believe that people would be more aggressive towards you than pedophiles. Like, I think that overall pedophiles are one of the most hated group of people, period. It's hard for me to believe that they got worse backlash. I just don't know if they were trying to link the two together or not. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments. And then I thought this part was interesting because someone said, being a map isn't cute, a girl who was sexually abused by adults. Mish said, yes it is, a girl who was sexually abused by adults. So then I started thinking, okay, well, this might be one of the cases of people who become or are pedophiles because of abuse that occurred to them and trauma of the past, which doesn't make it okay suddenly to be a pedophile who's all pro-contact, but it could be an explanation as to why they seem so brazen and comfortable with what they are. So the last thing I screenshotted was a picture of this person, and typically I wouldn't do that, but considering their profile was public, considering that they were.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that we need to show this person's face. Again, we don't know if this is, I think we've already kind of caught some glimpses of it already, but this person that it's suggested that this is their face. Keep in mind, Instagram has pretty much 0 verification requirements. You sign up to Instagram and you can post whatever you want. And that's kind of expected that people will post whatever they want. It is
Yeah.
a trash hole of content when it comes to people that want to create any kind of confusion and
Propaganda.
or stuff like this.
Hatred.
It is too easy to just troll people
and earn from it.
So yeah.
But this person can't be a NoMAP, because if they're pro contact, that is just opposing views. Like, it's so the opposite thing of the ethos, of their principles, of what I know of the NoMAP community. They are fiercely defensive about children can't consent. So pro contact is just not even a discussion. Don't bring it up around us. We don't even want to talk about it. So I don't know, like, it doesn't feel genuine, because there's so many conflicting things and not quite written correctly, and sort of very inflammatory and very inciting things, and very like trying to get a rise by being very graphic and all of those things. And I just know the NoMAP community took their age of interest out of their profiles a long time ago. There was a whole sort of movement, because they sort of did this whole poll and everything. It was like a real big thing, and that's when they changed their dialogue about child sex exploitation media, and she called it child porn. So if you're going to like earn from this and make some media about it, use correct terminology that honors those victims that you're talking about, instead of the term child pornography.
One of the things that I think could be at play here, that's kind of giving us sort of this red herring, is the fact that that one post had no maps in it. And what might be the case is that maybe the easiest way to find community on Instagram, other terms may be banned or may not be searchable. So they may have just kind of taken this and that to kind of reach into this community. Again, we don't know. We're not interviewing this person, although that would be kind of I will see about possibly having them on for a live stream.
Mm-hmm.
And that
anyone wants to come on to talk about anything to do with their sexuality, please do. You're welcome.
Absolutely. Either on the live stream here or in our private anonymous support group. It is a virtual support group that runs weekly. If you want to join, go check out our website and click on the maps page, HelpUsDefend.com. And again, we are a nonprofit. Our mission is to reduce risks for children and vulnerable people online. If you want to help, come volunteer or donate. We would love to get more people kind of joining our team on a variety of different things. Not necessarily maps, but if you're interested in other things like graphic design and stuff like that, we have probably about 60 or so different roles available on 25 different teams. So come check us out. Faye, any last closing thoughts?
Take all of that with a pinch of salt, I think. And I don't think it represented anything, actually. I think it was a goading sort of platform. I doubt the picture's real. I don't think any of the content is real. I think it's just trying to make its own propaganda, basically, and it doesn't represent anything that I know.
I'm going to be conspiracy theorist and say that it was ready to glare. So ready to glare. We need to check your. Yeah.
We're calling you out.
Yeah.
Why did you do a freedom of information request?
I don't think Instagram would give that give that up easily. But Faye, thanks again for joining us. And if you're watching, please like and share and have some civil discourse in the comment section if you are going to comment. We don't want to just talk to people that are so narrow-sighted that they have no idea about what's outside of the range of things in life. So, it's okay to support people that are different, and that's what we're doing on a regular basis, because that's how we can try to attack this issue from all angles. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.